Hi, I'm Drew Wagner, your instructor for FIN4240, Financial Markets and Institutions. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about the course. Hopefully, by now, you've gone over to the discussion board and introduced yourself to your fellow classmates. And to me, I'd like to know what you look like. Hopefully you posted a picture or video so that if you walk into my office, I'll know who you are. Or if I see you on campus, I'll know who you are. That you're in my class, that is. And I just think that's one thing we lose with online courses, this humanness. At any rate, as you know from the syllabus, half your grade is coming from the quizzes and half your grade is coming from the discussion board. With respect to the quizzes, they are under the chapter tab over there on the left. Click on chapters, and there's going to be a folder for each chapter, or there is a folder for each chapter. In that folder, right now there's just PowerPoint slides and quizzes, but there will be more material coming in the chapters. The quizzes are generally, you get 20 minutes to take a quiz. There are 10 multiple choice questions on each quiz, and you can take each quiz up to twice. Now, but if you take it twice, though, if you take it the second time you take the quiz, it will not be the exact same as the first time you took the quiz because the questions are being randomly selected from a question bank. It's not a huge question bank, but it's basically at least twice the size of. Anyway, you're not going to get the same quiz twice. I don't think that you will. And you must take at least 15 quizzes. If you take less than 15 quizzes, then some zeros will be padding your grade, pulling it down. If you take more than 15 quizzes, then I'll be dropping the lowest. So if you take, for example, 18 quizzes, 18 chapter quizzes, I would drop the lowest 3. You guys should all cover at least the first like 8 or 9 chapters. After that, I'm giving you some freedom. There are quiz due dates each Monday, starting with the first Monday after Labor Day and for the rest of the semester, but all the quizzes are open. The due dates for about or almost half of the quizzes are on the last day of finals week. So your quizzes are, like your final. I expect people during finals week to be taking quizzes as well. But you have the freedom to focus on the topics that you want to in the second half of the book, basically. And I'll be posting material on those chapters as well, and I already have. But you have some flexibility there. You have some freedom if you want to focus on, say, I don't know, derivatives. How to hedge for banks would be basically you're hedging interest rate risk. Then you can focus on those swaps and futures and those kinds of things. Or if you want to focus on learn about mortgage-backed securities, you can do that. At any rate, there's the quizzes, half your grade, and then the other half on the discussion board. Well, you'll be answering the end of chapter questions and problems. And there's a thread rather for each chapter. And under that thread, if you're say in chapter 5 you want to answer question number 10, you click on the chapter 5 thread, and in your post you'd say question number 10 or problem number 10, whichever it is, so that everybody knows what it is you're answering. If someone else has already answered that question or problem, then don't post a new thread. Respond to theirs. If you have a different answer, definitely post it, because whoever has the correct answer is going to get those points. If you have the same answer, if it's exactly the same, don't bother posting it, because I have no way of knowing whether or not you just copied theirs and posted that. So you're not going to get points for having the exact same thing as someone else. But if you can explain something, or maybe show the calculations, or maybe provide a graph, somehow improve upon their answer, go ahead and post that, and you will get participation points for that. If you have a different answer entirely, then post that, and if you're correct, then you get all the points. You'll get more points for posting something before that chapter's due date. I will be going through the week prior to a quiz due date and correcting that chapter's homework, that chapter's problems and questions on the discussion board. So I'll be going through the discussion board primarily to correct people. Once in a while, I'll offer hints when it's. At any rate, I'm going to leave that open for students, but I will be correcting those. I should be correcting those prior to each quiz due date. So after a quiz is over, it's not as much opportunity to get points, obviously, once the quiz's due date is passed. In some chapters, there's not enough problems and questions for everyone to answer something, so I will be posting additional problems and questions right there in the discussion board for you. There's also the other topics discussion forum. I have posted some topics, just like one-word headings, and it's up to you to discuss those topics, all relating to financial markets and/or institutions. For example, I think one of them is moral hazard. Moral hazard happens when anytime a decision maker is shielded from some risk, not bearing the penalty of taking a risk. You can see how that would relate to banking, especially in recent years. But if you're unclear on how that works, you have car insurance, right? What do you think? People drive safer or less safe with car insurance or without car insurance? Because car insurance shields you from financial risk. Do you think you're a safer driver with car insurance or a safer driver without car insurance? I would argue people tend to be a safer driver without car insurance, assuming that they would get caught if they got in an accident. Because without car insurance, you bear the full financial burden of any damages you would do if you were to get into an accident. But with car insurance, you're not the one paying for it; the insurance company is paying for it. So you might be a little bit more, less willing to take risk if you didn't have car insurance. Also, you might be less willing to take risks that might get you stopped by a policeman, because if you don't have car insurance, you could go to jail. At any rate, so there, in banking, that'd be like your deposits. You put money in the bank; it's insured with the FDIC deposit insurance insures that, and because of that, well, bankers tend to take when there is bankruptcy risk, when there's risk of insolvency, the company's nearing insolvency. Sometimes you get financial decision makers, the managers, taking on risks that they wouldn't ordinarily take, because if they win, they come out they make a lot of money. If they lose, they're not the ones suffering the loss; someone else is. And also, they have a career at stake. So if they're going to go bankrupt, they may as well go out big, because it's not going to make a difference to them whether they're bankrupt by a little bit or a lot. At any rate, the deposit insurance itself can create perverse incentives, let's say. So if you, with those other topics on that discussion forum, if you have an idea for a topic that relates to the course, go ahead and send me an email. Top level, there will be stuff that I posted that use one-word things. If you have an idea, send me an email or a text message. My phone number is on the syllabus. You can use that. If you call me, then if I don't recognize the phone number or it's not in my phone book, it's probably going to go through to voicemail. Do leave a message, because if I don't know who you are, I'm not likely to answer. If you send me a text message, include the course number in your text message and your name, so that I know I know what course it's from. So, about the quizzes, I forgot to mention. You won't be able to see the correct answers until after the due dates. That's why I have due dates throughout the semester instead of not. So if I think of something else, I'll let you know. And be sure and check this announcements page pretty frequently, because that's where I'm going to post my new information that I have for you. So have fun. I hope you learn a lot this semester.